sticks on legs, the embodiment of the phrase, tall, dark and handsome. "Hands off, I saw him first." "This is my wife, Amanda," Dad said, when Mum came into view. She glided across the herringbone flooring, looking effortlessly chic in a pair of grey, wide-legged trousers and a pastel pink crew-neck jumper. Mum was a natural beauty and had an ageless appearance. "I'm Todd Evans, pleased to meet you," the bodyguard said, extending his hand towards the lady with pale blonde hair and glowing creamy complexion women half her age would envy. "Pleased to meet you too, Todd," Mum replied, her lavender-blue eyes shining. Why has the idea of giving him a hand job suddenly sprung into my mind? "I wonder what he's like in bed," I said, tilting my head to one side. "Dad would kill you if he heard you talking like that. You're the spawn of the devil." Scarlett giggled, then linked her arm through mine. "You better believe it," I laughed. The two of us stood grinning with our eyes fixed on Todd. We watched as he followed Dad down the flagstone path at the side of the striped lawn until he disappeared out of sight.
Chapter 3. Davie. I paced along the pathway, rubbing my hands together as I led the way to my office space at the bottom of the garden. "It would freeze the bollocks off you today," I said over my shoulder. When Amanda and I bought the house, I'd originally planned to turn the workshop into a man cave, but due to its secluded location, the place was better suited to being my crime headquarters. It was ideal. Much as I loved them all dearly, I'd be out of sight and out of mind of the women in my life. "Take a seat," I said, gesturing towards the black leather sofa at the far side of the office. Todd wiped his feet on the mat before he closed the triple-glazed door behind him. As he parked his bum on the seat, I walked over to the sideboard, took out a cut glass decanter and 2 tumblers and poured us both a hefty measure of single malt. I handed Todd a drink, then held my tumbler toward his. "Cheers, son. Welcome to the firm," I said, before we clinked glasses. "Thanks, Davie. I'm excited to be working with you." Todd's reply made me laugh out loud. He seemed genuinely shocked by my response. He might have been a former Royal Marine, a tough guy, but he was arrogant, a real cocky little shit. I wasn't sure if that was a good thing or a bad thing. "Let's get one thing straight, shall we, son? You won't be working with me, you'll be working for me," I corrected. It gave me great satisfaction to slap the eyed muscle firmly back into line, and I had to suppress the smile that wanted to take over my face. We weren't forming a partnership. Money equalled control, and I was the one paying his wages. I wanted to make sure he got that. I didn't like having to repeat myself. "Understood?" "Yes," Todd replied, before placing his untouched whiskey down on the glass coffee table, then held his hands up in front of him. "Sorry, my mistake." It hadn't gone unnoticed that his apology lacked empathy. I knocked back my drink while I tried to gauge the measure of a man I'd hired to protect my daughters. First impressions count for a lot, and I wasn't at all sure I liked the person sitting opposite me, but then I reasoned I wasn't adding him to my social circle. As long as he did his job, that was all that mattered. "Like I said, your main duty will be to look after Kelsey. She works for a party planning company running events for influencers and reality TV stars. She's an attractive girl and has been the target of a lot of unwelcome attention thanks to her job, mingling with overzealous fans of the Z-list celebrity wannabes." Todd took out a notebook and pen and started scribbling in it. "You don't mind if I make some notes, do you?" he asked when he saw me looking daggers at him. "I'm not sure how I feel about you recording sensitive information regarding my girls. What if it fell into the wrong hands?" I like to keep things simple and never put anything in writing, so there was no evidence to find. The last thing I needed was somebody creating an unnecessary paper trail. "Rest assured, I'm not doing this for a sinister reason." Todd waved a small black book around. "It's a strategy I use until I get to know the clients I'm looking after. I can't remember every tiny detail to start with, so this is invaluable until I learn the ropes. Having something in writing, which I can refer back to, helps me do a better job." "I get what you're saying, but that still doesn't answer my question. You make a lot of enemies in this game who would sell their granny in return for some dirt on me or my family."